Yeah, but
That's why.
nobody can make those catches anymore because the ballparks are so much smaller.
Do what now?
Because the ballparks are so much smaller. That
Oh,
field that
God,
goes in-
Polo Grounds are so.
That's
deep.
right. Yeah, it was about 500 feet of fence. So, but today, most center fields, 350 and
Yeah.
it's gone. So he would run into the fence
Yeah,
today.
420. That's a long run. You're right.
All right, friends. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos.
Shabbos.
We are live in Huntington. It is hot. It is hot. What can I say? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're here, and it's air conditioned here. So if you're thinking about, you're looking for something to do, come here. We have conditioned air, and we'll leave it on for you. It is June 21st, which would have been my my maternal grandmother's birthday, born 1911. One of the biggest influences in my life, along with my other grandmother. So I was blessed to have two grandmothers who kept me alive for a very long time. But today would be her birthday. She'd be, 123? No, 103, 113. I'm not good at math, but it's a good long life if she had. But, and it is one of Pride Shabbat. Next week is actual Pride Shabbat, but we're celebrating Pride all through the month, and we're going to have this evening my friend Pastor Tim Dixon come up and talk a little bit about some of the work that he does in our community. And we're going to have Diane come up. She's going to bench lift for us this evening. Pages 3 and page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Don't push it forward.
Push
that part forward. Then pull the trigger.
All right. It's the easiest that's ever happened. As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Amen.
All right, let's continue on page 6. Near the middle, let's read responsively in English. May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, or harshness.
May the synagogue be broad and to a richer, meaningful life.
Let's jump ahead and we'll begin Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming the Sabbath on page 20. Song that comes to us from the holy city of Sfat in the north of Israel in the Galil. Beautiful, beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places in Israel. Comes to us from the Mekubalim, from the Kabbalists. Page 20 at the top, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem ol tiferet v'litzilah, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, Ki mekor ha'bracha, Merosh mikedem nehesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Mikdash melech ir melucha, Kumitzi mitoch hafecha, Rav lahak shevet v'yemecha b'cha, V'hu yachamol alaychem la, Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Itna'ari me'afar kumi, Livshi b'dei tifarteh chami, Al yad ben Ishai beit al-Lachmi, Korva el nafshi gehala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Hitorari, Kihiva ori kumi uri, shir daberi, Kivod Adonai alayich nikla, Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Lo tevoshi v'lo tikolmi, Mahatish tochachi matehemri, Bach yechesu anieh ami, V'nihif netayir al tila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, V'hayu l'shimsa shohosaich, V'rahachaku kol mevalayich, Yasis alayich Elohayich, Ki himsos chatan al kala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Yamin u'smol tifrotzi, V'et Adonai taritzi, Al yadish ben partzi, V'nihi smecha v'nagila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'sohola, Tochem unei amsula, Boi chala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Let's turn the page to 22. Some verses from Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. And let's read the outdented paragraph together in English. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Tzadik tamar yikra, ke'erez balvanon yiskeh shetulim. Beveit Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu, Yahafrihu. O Jenuvu Beseva, Dishenim Vera'ananim, Ihiyu Lehagi. Ki Yashar Adonai, Suri Velo Avlatabo. Page 24, we'll greet the angels, the two angels that come to spend Shabbat with us, with the traditional words of greeting. Shalom Alechem, peace unto you. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Ashari, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. V'melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. V'melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seifem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. V'melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have welcomed Shabbat, the bride. Shabbat, the Shabbos bride is with us. I'll ask everyone, please rise. Page 146 as we begin the Arvit service, the evening service for Shabbat. We continue with Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. May be seated. Page 147. Let's read responsively. Not responsively. Let's read together in English. 147. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish. But your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Page 148, the second bracha, the second blessing before Shema. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, u'kim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shachbeinu uvkumeinu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha, li'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu v'yorech yameinu, v'yorech yameinu, uvahem nehegeh yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavat techal tasir mimenu le'olamim, baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, v'hayu advarim ha'ele. Asher Elohim etzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibartamam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlektecha b'derech, uv'shoktecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot, בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 151, let's read responsively in English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness produces grace, and perfection will avail.
Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil in heaven and great power, and there is goodness in our souls.
When will redemption come?
We bring everyone we claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learned God's presence and His promise, so we celebrate His power and make us free.
Top of 152. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nohorati lo, nohusefem, malchutecha ra'u banecha, Okeam lifnei Moshe, Zeli anu v'amru, Adonai yimloch li'olam poed, v'nemar yifad Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Top of page 153. The top two lines of Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. And let's read together in English. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-porei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 154, some verses from the book of Exodus, from the book of Shemot. It's not Shabbos if we don't have this Shamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי Shabbat vayinafash. Shabbat vayinafash. Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-shabbat. La'asot et ha-shabbat Lidorotam Berito Olam. As we turn to page 155, I'll ask everyone please rise for the Amidah. We'll chant 155, 156, and 157 together, and then we'll go silently. And during the silent period, you can read and finish the Amidah in Hebrew. You could read the English translation, or you can offer up your own personal and meditative prayer during that time. We'll begin together on 155. Adonai sifatai titach uviagi tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai titach uviagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekonei HaKol V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot Umevi Goel Ibnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Uzer Yoshia Umagid Baruch Atah Adonai Magin Avraham Ezrat Sarah Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayim Etim Atarav Lahoshia Mogri Katal Mechakel Chayim Bechesed Mechayim Etim Berachamim Rabbi Somech Noflim Ve'ofech Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayim Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha B'Yevorot Umidom Melach Melech Mimit Umechayim Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata L'chayot Eitim Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei Ameim. Let's continue. Middle of page 160. Let's read that middle paragraph together in the English. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy, our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. and may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-shabbat. Page 163 in the Hoda'ah section, a little bit of Thanksgiving, a lot to be grateful for this week. Just a lot of nice conversation with a dear friend of mine, Hannibal, and he is doing very well, and it was nice chatting with him. And so on 163, let's continue with Thanksgiving and read responsibly. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength and great world, our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for all the whole praise to the source of being.
And let's close out on 164, as always, with a prayer for peace. In the evening, it's Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol ha-shalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol ha-shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Praise you, Adonai, who blesses your people, Israel, with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevorech et amo Yisrael, Shalom. Middle page 253, we'll continue. Misha Beirach. Misha Beirach, Avoteinu, Mikor HaBracha, Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Beirach Imotenu, Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. A special refuah shlema to Rabbi Wutcher. He's always in our thoughts and our prayers. Pages 258 and 259, the prayers of our community. Mr. President, how about the prayer for our congregation?
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us. Love of Torah, devotion and prayer in support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, shotecha levatcha b'yirah na'avod. Mari, how about the prayer for our country?
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection.
Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit.
Amen. Shalom, shalom, Yerushalayim, Yishlayu, Hubayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Nicholas, please lead prayer for Medinat Yisrael in Ivrit and in English, please.
אבינו שבשמיים צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית וצמיחה, צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן עליך בעברת חסדיך, ופרוס עליך סוכות שלומך. ושלח אורך ועמיתך, אשר שרר ויור עצר, ותקנן עצה טובה מפניך. ונתת שלום בארץ, ושמחת עולם ליושביך, ולומר אמן.
Amen.
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fulfillment of joy for all who dwell there.
Amen. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. We are still in the opening parshiot of the book of Numbers, Bamidbar. This week's parsha is Baha'alotecha, and it begins with instructions for Moshe to install a menorah. This is not a Chanukiah, this is the actual menorah. It had seven branches, and it was a big part of the tabernacle. The Levites are enlisted to help the Kohanim, but we know that this was going on. But once again, we get this reminder. We get a wonderful holiday that nobody really observes anymore, called Pesach Sheni, the second Passover. And it was for people who, right before Passover, touched a corpse and could not get back to could not have the ritual of the red heifer, or if there was someone was on a long journey and was not able to get back in time to make the Passover offering, they went to Moshe and said, "Hey, what about us?" And Moshe went to God, and God said, "Okay. So if you are either of those, a month after Passover, you can have the korban, you can do the sacrifice, you can eat the matzah and the maror. And you will be credited as if you did Passover when you were supposed to." Now, before any of you get ideas, it doesn't work if you just decide you don't want to do Passover and say, "Oh no, a month later I can do the same thing, but only have to deal with it for a day." Nope, doesn't work that way. As a matter of fact, if you did that in biblical times, you'd be cut off from the community. They would just exile you, basically. If you're too lazy to do the ritual when you were supposed to do it, they're not letting you make it up because you were too busy or it just didn't fit your schedule. But nowadays, I myself do this. On Pesach Sheni, I take out a piece of matzah left over from Passover and I eat it. And that was it. That's it. I'm not required to do that, but I do that. We find out that a cloud covers the sanctuary by day and a pillar of fire by night when God's presence is there. And Moshe is commanded to make shtei chatzotzrot kesef. He's commanded to make 2 silver trumpets. And these are sounded at the beginning of a journey to gather the people, to fill them in on whatever was going on, to call to battle, and to announce celebrations of sacrifices, festivals, and other joyous occasions. On the 20th day of the second month of the second year, our ancestors began the journey towards Eretz Yisrael. They started to move. not only do they start to move, but I mean, almost immediately they complain about food. What else are Jews going to complain about, right? Not enough food, not the right kind of food. The onig's not big enough. The kiddush isn't big enough. Oh, I wanted this. We got that. And so Moses had to deal with that right at the outset. And Moses complains to God. Moses says, listen, God, get rid of them. Start over. They're too much for me. Right? They, no matter what I do, no matter what we do, it's wrong. And God says, no, don't worry. You need to appoint leaders and other people to take the pressure off of you. And then, things will work out. This is not the first or the last time that Israel will complain about the food. The riffraff, as they are called, the Erev Rav, got the people worked up and had them complain by saying, if only we had stayed in Egypt, there we would have eaten for free. We had everything we wanted, but now we're out here, forgetting the fact that they're now free. If they were still in Egypt, they'd be slaves, but not free. So that does not get Moses and the people off onto a good footing. And then the Parsha closes out with an interesting piece with Aharon and Miriam complaining about Moshe behind his back. This Parsha is the beginning of a 5-Parsha run in which different ways of voicing disagreement or trying to solve problems through words is addressed. And I'll give you a hint. The first 4 doesn't end well for the people who pop off. The last one is where people have finally learned a lesson on how to affect change with words. But Miriam and Aharon complain about Moshe behind his back, complaining about his wife. She was a Cushite, maybe an Ethiopian, but somebody who was definitely darker of skin than Aaron and Miriam and Moshe. And so the 2 siblings had a field day with that. And then they complain that, well, Moses talks to God, but God talks to us too. God talks through us. So why does Moshe get to be, important and not so much us? And they're not paying attention because God was listening, and God calls them out and says, yeah, you shouldn't be talking about people behind their backs. You never know who's listening. And so Miriam is struck with leprosy, and she has to leave the camp for 7 days. And a lot of people say, well, Aharon doesn't get punished. Actually, he does. He's the one who has to send his sister out. He has to tell her to leave. And then he is the one who declares her to be clean again. So she suffers the leprosy, but he has to be the one that sends her out and then says whether or not she could come back. There were 5 mitzvot in this week's Parsha, 3 positive and 2 negative. And that is your Torah portion in a nutshell. It is my great, great pleasure to introduce Pastor Tim Dixon. He is not only pastor at Grace Christian Fellowship, a lovely church where I have been invited to teach a number of times, and they were here with us for Passover. Not all of them, but a number of them. And he is not in addition to being a pastor, he is also the supervising chaplain of the Huntington Police Department. His husband is Robbie Nance, and they have a son, Owen, who turns 9 this weekend. Pastor Tim is of local vintage. He is from West Virginia. And, I'm proud to call him my friend, but he had to work for it. He would call the office and say, this is Pastor Tim from Grace Christian Fellowship. And Martha would give me the message, and I would panic because Grace Christian and Fellowship, in that particular order, always means trouble for rabbis. It's somebody who wants to convert the congregation, somebody who wants me to do a Passover Seder in December, or any number of things that are just, and so I kind of keep him at a distance. Maybe he'll get tired, but he didn't. He kept calling back. And finally he said to Martha, just tell him I have a husband. Well, Martha figured out that meant that Pastor Tim was gay. And so Martha said, he's gay. And I had to stop because I didn't call him right away because I'm thinking, what if it's a ruse? What if he's not gay? And he's just using it to come and tell me that, I'm going to hell and that I need reparative therapy. But then I thought, no, if it's Grace Christian Fellowship, that type of church would not want their pastor even pretending to be gay. So that would get him in trouble. So maybe I should call him back. I ultimately did call him back, and I said, you should have just led with "I'm gay," and I would have called you right back. But we have struck up quite a nice friendship in the ensuing months. And when I asked him to speak tonight, he leapt at the opportunity. And so without any further ado, it is my great honor to ask my very dear friend to come on up here and tell us a little bit about, well, being gay. No, just kidding. You want to go here? Do you want me to move this?
No, I'm fine.
I can move it out of the way. It's not.
I'm good.
We're doing comedy.
Yeah.
Well.
So I just want to let you know that I am not gay, but my husband is.
I should have led with that.
This is not the first time that I've gotten an opportunity to stand in front of you. Many years ago, you had a community Thanksgiving service here at the synagogue, and I was the speaker at that. And that's been a long, long time ago. But this is a little bit different circumstance for me.
Were you gay then?
No, I was not gay,
Oh.
but my husband was.
Oh, okay. All right, just making sure.
I want to say how much I appreciate your rabbi, or my friend Bob, allowing me to come and be a part of this evening. I was reminiscing while you were doing the first part of the service. When I was in seminary, I had 2 Hebrew classes, of which I nearly flunked both. And it was kind of funny because I had to do a GPA booster after I took each class because I didn't do very well. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh, Dr. Verikes could see me now. But thank you for welcoming me. I have family here. I don't know if you know that or not, but I have family. Lisa and Mike are my family. And I'm so happy and proud to be with them in service this evening. I think I'm supposed to be talking about being gay in connection with having faith. And I don't want to Christianize that. I want to make that a matter of faith, because in truth, there are about 6,000 different religions in the world today. And the fact of the matter is that it's difficult in most of them, if you are a gay person, to get into that faith community. And that, to me, is a problem. My pronouns, I want to tell you this evening, are he, him, and his. That's important. Let me also say that I'm a person of faith. My identifying words, however, are believer, faithful, and committed. And my pronouns connect with my identifying words for my life. And that's important because of the role that I play in the community and that we all play in the community. We have to have our identifying words, right? So think about what people think of you when they think of your name, or when they talk about their friendship with you, or when they are around you. What are the identifying words that they use to describe you? The question that I've also often been asked, that I've been tasked with this evening is, how do I intertwine those 2 parts of myself, and how do I function in each of them? I am, regardless of what I joked about earlier, I am a gay man, but I'm also a person of faith. And those 2 go together. I'm not a gay man who happens to be faithful, and I'm not a faithful man who happens to be gay. I'm a gay man who is faithful in my faith. Better yet, the question I want to ask you tonight is, how do you intertwine the 2? Because I have to assume that even if you're not gay, that you're probably an admitted straight ally of gay people. That's not an odd thing, because we should be an ally of all people, regardless of their sexual orientation. That shows our faithfulness to humanity, our community, our commitment to each other. Truth is, we were created to have a conscious relationship with our Creator. I've been listening to that. Been listening to that when you're bald. This is really tough.
Italian thumbtack. Forgot a thumbtack.
No thumbtacks. When we have a created relationship with our Heavenly Father, this relationship is one of truth, it's one of acceptance, and it's one of belonging. Truth, acceptance, and belonging. And those are the three words that I want you to try to remember. If I were in front of my congregation, I would say truth, acceptance, and belonging, and ask them to repeat them after me just so that they could kind of connect with them. Truth, acceptance, and belonging. Those are the three words that I want you to remember. They're three very important words. Truth, acceptance, and belonging.
You can ask them to repeat, see if they listen.
You want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, here we go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Truth, acceptance, and belonging. Those are three important words. Those are not secular words as much as they are faithful words. Truth, acceptance, and belonging. There are three other words that I want you to think about this evening. When you think about truth, acceptance, and belonging, I want you to also think of the three words deception, rejection, and isolation. Those are the opposite three words of the original truth, acceptance, and belonging. The problem is that people of faith and houses of faith and communities of faith have more so identified with deception and rejection and isolation than they have truth, acceptance, and belonging, which is so opposite of our faith. God is all about truth, acceptance, and belonging. Everything about God is about truth, acceptance, and belonging. And somehow between God sending truth, acceptance, and belonging and it arriving in us, we have interchanged that with deception, rejection, and isolation. In the month of June, it is the month where we celebrate Pride, and it is a Pride month. But as a faith leader in our community, I often deal with people who have been deceived, rejected, and isolated. And while everybody's marching down the street waving their flags, we have to be reminded that there are people in our community who have been rejected, who have been deceived, and who have been isolated. And as faith leaders, somehow we've got to reach them with the truth, acceptance, and belonging. Flipping that. As faith communities, we must be present to rescue those who have found those abused by faith communities at the end of a different faith community that they trusted. One of my roles over the years has been in the process of my coming out back in. I'm too drunk, man.
They had gays back then?
They had gays back then.
Or just husbands of gay men?
Right. They've got husbands of gay men. But one of the things that I found myself was my own journey of coming out. I came from a very, very ultra-conservative evangelical faith community that taught me to lie and deceive for their comfort. While they were teaching and preaching, tell the truth, be transparent. God is truth. One of the great big 10, thou shalt not bear false witness, or in English, thou shalt not lie, or however you want to say, and then turn around and say, but don't tell that truth because that truth makes me feel uncomfortable and awkward. And that's what we deal with all the time. We deal with that also in family systems. In family systems where a child who needs to tell the truth doesn't tell the truth because there are parental repercussions if they do. So just keep it a secret. I also grew up in an era where families kept secrets. I don't know if you grew up in a family like that or not, but families kept secrets. And every now and then as an adult, you would get older and you would learn a family secret and you would go to the elders of your family and say, well, why didn't I know this? Why didn't anybody? Oh, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. And you mean my parents didn't talk about it, my grandparents didn't talk about it, my great grandparents. So what we did was we cultivated a family system that said that it's okay to not talk about some things. And the truth of the matter is that in the 1980s, hundreds of thousands of people died because they were conditioned not to talk about the truth. Rabbi told you earlier that I serve as the supervising chaplain at the Huntington Police Department, and one of the things that I often hear the officers say in the hallway and in discussions with them are people who are LGBTQ, but they're living in secret or in what we call now in the 21st century in the closet, but they exercise these events of homosexuality and unhealthy practices out in the world, and they get in trouble. And what do we do with them? Well, the very first thing that we try to say to them is tell the truth. Be of truth. Embrace truth. Embrace truth, and you will find acceptance. If you get to acceptance, then you will belong with somebody. And I think I want to challenge not just you, but I challenge my congregation all the time. There are hurting people out there that we come in contact with who need to know that they are loved. And most of them come from a faith background. Many of them, especially in our region, in Huntington, in the tri-state area, and where we live and where we are, they have some kind of a faith background. They will find some place to belong. And if they're forced to live a lie, they will belong in unhealthy places, because unhealthy people will have unhealthy motives and embrace them in an unhealthy way. We've got to partner together. One of the things that I appreciate the most about Rabbi Bob is that I wasn't supposed to tell you that he is my friend. I wasn't supposed to tell that, but he's my friend. I'm not telling you that he's my friend. I'm just saying that he's not my friend.
I'm not your friend. See, thank you.
He's not my friend. But I think that says something to our community, and the community is, regardless of our differences, we embrace some things in a unified way, and we are brothers. And we have a task, and the task is that there are hurting people out there who need to know that they can be a part of something and belong, and we bring that belonging to them. So there are 3 words. You remember them? Okay, here we are. I'm going to give them to you again. Truth, acceptance, and belonging. You ready? Here we go. Truth,
Acceptance, belonging.
Okay, those are great words. Those are great words. But we slip into a negative piece of that, which is what?
Acceptance, rejection, isolation.
Isolation.
So you got it. Let's not do that. In this Pride Month, let's rebel. Let's rebuff. Let's pull back on the isolation, on the rejection. Let's pull back from it, because I'm going to tell you what, in this 21st century, young people are keen to us. They're aware of us. They know our actions. They're watching. And if we are judged and found wanting, they won't want anything to do with our faith. Why? Because we represented it in a bad way. I want to thank you, because as a part of what I do, I work with kids who are coming out to their parents. I deal all the time with people who are coming out to their families, and that is a struggle. I remember doing that myself. And I remember the pain. I remember how difficult it was. I remember sitting in a room listening to myself, my ears listening to my mouth say, I am gay, for the first time. Now, I always knew I was, but I needed to come into my truth. And you would not believe how many people said, well, okay, if you're going to be gay, just be gay. You don't have to go tell everybody, right? And that was because they didn't want to be uncomfortable. But sooner or later, we have to speak our truth, because we need acceptance and we want to belong. And people do not want to be a part of a lying, deceiving world. I encourage you, if you're watching online or you're here, I encourage you to be a part of what is good about our faith that is accepting, our faith that is truthful, and our faith that is belonging. Thank you for letting me share it this evening. I could break out into a sermon.
Better than breaking out into a song.
I could do a dance.
You can do an accent. Thank you, my friend. Pastor Tim will be available for any questions or anything you'd like to share with him after services. We have an oneg in his honor. Pastor Tim hit something that resonated with me, but a lot resonated with me. But Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, one of the great 20th century spiritual leaders in all faiths, said the main object or the main reason for religion is to afflict the comfortable and comfort the afflicted. All too often, I think we've got that reversed. We want to make people comfortable who are all right, and the people who are afflicted, the people who need us, we want to make them feel uncomfortable. And that's the shame. And that's when we get truth, acceptance, and community, and reverse it with belonging. We reverse it with deception, rejection, and isolation. All right, Maury.
Kadoosh.
It's Kadoosh time. It is Kadoosh time. Let us make a Kadoosh on this beautiful, beautiful Friday night. Vayer vayivoker yom hashishi, vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam, vayachol Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa, vayishboz bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa, vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi, vayikadesh oto. Hivo Shabbat, Mikol Malachto, Asher Bara Elohim La'asot. Savri,
Akai.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, Borei Peri Hagafen. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon imchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lamichai kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta Mikol ha'amrim, Shabbat kodecha, Yahava u'ratzon, Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. All right, please remain standing as we begin closing out our service. Page 282, Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'nei kedula liotzer reishit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, V'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim v'yotzer haaretz u'moshe b'ikaro b'shamayim b'mal Ushli natuzo, begove meromi. U Eloheinu Einod, emet malkeinu efesulato, katatu betorato, viadata hayom bahashevota, elevamecha. Ki Adonai hu Elohim, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ, והיא תחתינו. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad. You may be seated. This week, we observe the following yard sites. Sidney Fellerton, David's brother. Louis Michelson, husband of Esther, father of Shirley Michelson, bro Davis. Harry Mole, Abe's son, Ruth's husband, Stephen's father. Dr. Jacob Weinberger, Richard's father. Matt Kolker, Sandy's husband and Jared's father. Lee's brother, son of Lillian and Joseph. Evelyn Friedlander, Robert Davis's mother. George Siegel, Alan's father. Stanley S. Gold, Matilda's husband. Linda Muffson Elbaum, Maury's sister. Anna Jaroslow, Belle Winston's mother. Barbara Vanderlask, Alan Siegel's relative. David Cohen, Marilyn's husband, father of Jan and Judy. Jacob Tesser, Herb Tesser's wife, relative. Rose Boos, Max Fetter's maternal grandmother. Anna Berinsky, Manny Berinsky's mother. Sarah Guberman, Mary Cantor's sister, and Rena Stern's aunt. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all, and may they always rest in peace. Page 294, Mourner's Cottage. Yit Gadal, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Yiruteh, V'amlik Malchuteh, Be'chaye Chon, V'yomei Chon, U'chaye D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala V'zman Kari V'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah V'varach Le'olam Alamei Almayel. Yisbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal. Shmei Kucha Brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Ta'amiram v'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom v'romav. Hu ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. You may be seated. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos on this very first day of summer, June 21st. Longest day of the year, apparently. And the days get shorter now, leading up 90 days from now to the first day of autumn, which I'm excited about. Again, Pastor Tim, thank you I almost called you Rabbi Tim. Thank you for being here this evening. Mr. President, you got some announcements for us?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Woohoo! I love it.
Thanks.
As a matter of fact.
You know that reference?
I do.
All right. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
First announcement I want to make is, if you're not receiving emails from me or getting emails to me, I am not blocking you, okay? I don't block people. Well, I do, but if I do, I let them know in no uncertain terms that I'm blocking them. You'll know if I'm blocking you. Oh, yes, you will. But I'm not blocking anybody. I need to get a new email, so I've been having them bounce back, and I apologize for that. I need to do that. It's been going on for a while, and that's on me, and I'm sorry. So I'll get that done. So tomorrow we've got services at 10 a.m., and then on Sunday we've got services at 9 a.m. and study with the rabbi at 1 and 2.
You got that? Uh-huh.
I do want to thank Pastor Tim for his wonderful presentation tonight. Thank you so much. And I appreciate it. I do think those are concepts, truth, acceptance, belonging, very important. And I think about how it relates to what I do, not just in my life, but with my profession as a lawyer, because those are three things that you really need to present a case and also connect with the jury. I think those are universals, and I like that. So thank you for giving that food for thought. Don't have anything else to really say except for, oh, I do, very important. So Camp Cave, if you can see, I'm wearing this t-shirt because I support Camp Cave. That's the real reason I'm wearing it.
Okay. Looks like my shirt.
It's a little inside joke. You at home are not going to get the joke, but that's okay. You have to have something to think about. But a Camp Cave is going to be starting at the end of this month.
It's several Sundays.
Several Sundays starting on June 30th. I can't guarantee you'll get a t-shirt like I did, but what I did to earn it, you wouldn't want to do anyway. So, and anyway, thank you to the rabbi for the t-shirt.
You're welcome.
Am I missing anything?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Martha's open house is on July 14th.
Martha's open house is on July 14th. Martha is retiring, and if you'd like to contribute to that, please let us know. Let me know, and that would be wonderful. Give her a celebration. She's really been a big part of this. I don't know how we're going to do this without her, but hopefully we'll have somebody that can at least perform her job, because we can't replace her. Unlike most employees in America, she is not replaceable.
I hear you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
That was it. You cringe, right?
I got it. I'm not cringing. I can't speak for Lydia, but just so you know how much Pastor Tim loves us, he brought his own kippah, right? He has his own kippah that he breaks out when he comes here, and his people have their own kippot as well. I'm telling you, he's a keeper. Who wants him can have him, but that works. Next week, Lydia is on tap for talking. You're seeing her shake her head. Yes, in affirmative. And there will be an oneg next week in honor of Lydia. And so we do extend our condolences to Mike and Elizabeth. Their eldest daughter, no, not their number 3 daughter. There are 6 children in that family. This is number 3. This is Bella. This is Bella. Bella is engaged to Andy. Andy's father passed away this week. And so we extend our condolences to Mike, Elizabeth, and their extended family. Okay. That was it. Immediately after services, we have an oneg. And so let's continue. And we'll close out on 321 with Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'ez Nasa B'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'Acharei Kiklo Tachon Levado Imloch Noga Vehu Haya Vehu Hover Vehu Yeh B'Tifara Vehu Echad V'Ein Sheni Laham Shelo Lahachbira B'li Reshit B'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'os V'Hamisra Vehu Eli V'Chai Goali V'Tzor Hebli B'Yetzara Vehu Nisi Umanos Li V'nat Kosi B'Yom Ekra V'Yahado Akid Ruchi V'Yetishan V'Yahira V'Imruchi V'Yatri Adonai Li V'Lo Yira. It is also anniversary and birthday Shabbat. Happy birthday to the June birthdays. Alan Kaplan, Scott Murphy, Daniel Cabell, Francis Bloch, William Blake, Billy. You were here earlier, and we gave you your blessing and your candy bar. We'll give you another candy bar if you want. Susie Moot Smith, Janice Levine, Joe Horn, and Paul Mayer. And June anniversaries, Paul and Lynn Mayer, Mark and Susan Miller, Mark and Sherry Solachek, Scott and Toby Murphy, Mitch and Linda Klein, Jeffrey and Susie Smith, and Rabbi and Tori Wutcher. At the end of the month, June 29th, that will be their 49th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Mazal Tov, and many more happy and healthy for all. All right, that's gonna be it, friends. Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. I want to see, let's see who said hello to us on the intertubes. I know Mom's already there and she's saying hello to her adopted son, the pastor. And so, but first we have Donna Wilson. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Stay cool. Thank you, Donna. I'm always cool, but I'm saying to you, there's Mom. Shabbat Shalom to all from Rabbi's mom and Cliff from Hot, Pennsylvania. Nice message, Pastor Dixon. There you go. And Judy Lundy, Shabbat Shalom all. Thank you, Judy. All of you, enjoy this beautiful weather. I know it's hot, but if you go out, stay hydrated. It's Pride Month. Be proud of whomever you are. And I want to wish you Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, and please, please be careful out there.
Oh, goodness. Good job.